Hello and welcome back to this week's recap of Survivor Worlds Apart. My name is Brad, and Chris is still not here. But that's okay. I have his power rankings, so I'm gonna be able to do this and get this up before the episode, which airs tonight. We're so far behind. Um, so I have a text of Chris's picks, and I have a short blurb about each person and why they are where they are. I haven't talked to him. I don't know where his head is at. I only have the information which is in front of me. So I'm gonna try and speculate on why people are where they are in his list and what I think of that. But beyond that, I can't give anything for sure. I don't know what he's thinking. Not in a bad way. I don't mean that in a condescending way at all. But we'll see. We'll see how this shakes out. So let's take a look at last week's rankings. We know that Max and Lindsay, getting ahead of myself. Max and Lindsay were the ones that went home. I have Max at number 3 and Lindsay at 10. That'll give me 13 points to go with my 30. And Chris had Max at 2 and Lindsay at 7. He gets 9 points to take him to 34, if my math is correct. I'm hoping it is, because that would be just so embarrassing. All right. I'm excited. Let's see. I'm gonna start with I normally start with Chris because it's better to get it back and forth going early. But he's not here, so I'm gonna start with myself because I get to do that. At number 1, I have Jen. I think she's the safest player in the game. She had Carolyn just kind of come over and join her alliance for free, and she found the idol. She is so safe, it's stupid. I'm pretty sure that they're going to lose the next challenge, which the next immunity challenge, which means which is a little weird that I'd have her at the top of my list and not just the entire other tribe. But I'm a little worried that almost anyone on that really fit Eskameka tribe could go home. I don't know how that's going to play out. I think it's really volatile, and I don't want to risk having anyone on that tribe considered super super safe because I think they're probably in some danger, all of them. So I have Jen at the top. She has an idol. She has Haley, which is just complete insurance, and she just got Carolyn in her alliance. She's got the numbers. She's totally fine. Chris at the top of his list, he has Tyler. And he says, boom, look at that, because I have them all prepared. I don't even have to move them around. He says, super safe because he's not dumb. Can't argue with that. Tyler is super safe because he's not dumb. I don't disagree. I think he's absolutely super safe and also not dumb. All right. Number 2 on my list is Haley. Just because she's with Jen, and Jen will keep her safe. That's about it. Everything that I said with Jen, minus the idol, I think it works for Jen. It works for Haley, rather. She's fine. Chris has Rodney at number 2 on his list. And Rodney is super safe because apparently people are totally okay with how much of a dick he is. Which is also weird. It's kind of the same thing with Dan that we were talking about in the recap, or that I was talking about in the recap last night. Yeah, he just kind of says whatever's on his mind, and it's really sexist and awful, and people get away with it, or he gets away with it. And it looks like he's going to be in a bromance with Joaquin, which I mean, I don't know if Rodney's super duper safe because of that. That looks like it could be dangerous, and his own alliance might want to do something about it. They can't afford to, but who knows what they're gonna do? They voted out Lindsay when they shouldn't have. They should have already voted out Rodney. But he is probably safe. I don't know. I really don't know what's gonna happen with that tribe. They're probably all gonna make the merge though. All right. Number 3 for me is Carolyn. In spite of voluntarily putting herself in the 4th spot in an alliance, and rather than having herself be secure with her 2 other tribe mates, she has the idol. And after flipping over there, I don't think she's in any danger at all. I think Will would go first out of that group. And yeah, I think Will would absolutely be the first. It'll be Shireen to go from that tribe, obviously. But I think after that, it would be Will before Carolyn. Maybe even Kelly before Carolyn. We'll see. All right. Number 3 on Chris's list is Joaquin. And he says super safe because Tyler probably has his back. Yeah, I think so. Again, same thing with Rodney. We saw him kind of broing out, which could be dangerous. But I don't think, as I again talked about last night, I don't think it's a bad thing for Joaquin. I think his group is going to be fine if he brings over Rodney because they'll just then they'll outnumber them quite heavily. So yeah, I think Joaquin's pretty safe. I don't have him quite that high on my list because I think there are safer players. And as I said, everyone on that tribe's kind of ooh, I don't know, but I can't fault him for that one. All right, number 4, I have Tyler here, and like Chris, I just think he's super safe because he's not dumb. I think he's got Joaquin in his pocket. Joe has to stick with him, and I think he's just actually smart. I think he's actually playing the game the right way. He's just absorbing information and not giving out too much. I think that's really, really good. Number 4 for Chris, he has Sierra. Sierra. And he says, safe for now because she's a swing vote. Okay. I don't disagree that she's probably safe, but there is that chance that maybe, they just get rid of the swing vote. Let's just take that out of the equation. I don't think that's going to happen, and I also have her relatively high on my list as well. Just playing devil's advocate a little bit. I think that's a fine pick for number 4. All right, number 5 for me is going to be Joe. And I think this is actually the lowest I've ever had Joe on my list. I think he's been playing a pretty decent game, but the tribe swap kind of messed with him a lot in the sense that now he's the only no color on his super fit tribe, which kind of makes him stand out. He's forced to just play with Tyler and Joaquin and hope to get Sierra. I could see him being in some danger, but the way I see it going, I don't think Sierra is going to stick with the blue colors. I'm really hoping that she's not, but I don't think ultimately, I don't think it's going to matter because they're not going to lose the challenge to Nagarote. And I'm remembering the tribe names. It's getting in my brain. I like it. I've never been able to remember tribe names because I just don't generally try to. Who cares about the tribe names? All right. Who we got here? Number 5 for Chris is Dan. Dan the man. Dan the man with the manties. And he says he has the numbers coming in from the shuffle. I don't know if that's necessarily true. On paper, just looking at the tribe makeup, yes, there are 4 blue collar to 3 others. But I mean, Sierra is that swing vote, which he said at number 4. So I don't know. It's risky. It is definitely risky. Again, probably not going to matter because they're not going to lose immunity. But that is risky, I think. But you got to risk it to get the biscuit at this point, I think. Down a good number of points. So maybe he's just trying to make that up. I don't know. Again, I don't know how his logic. And I'm just gonna actually do his next one here as well. He's got Mike here, and he says the exact same reason. He's got the numbers coming in from the shuffle. I think Dan is probably less safe than Mike, personally, on that tribe. But, if it's the same reason as Dan, I don't know the reasoning behind it beyond what it says. So, who knows? I can't speculate too much. At number 6 for me, I have Kelly. Because I think there's a decent chance that... I mean, I don't think there really is a real chance. Where the hell is she on this list? There she is. I don't think there's really a chance that she goes home, but I could imagine a scenario where, the no colors don't want to break up their group. Carolyn just joined their alliance, and Shireen... I don't know what Shireen does to not get voted out, but maybe I could see it somehow. Probably not. There's really no shot that she's in any danger at all. All right. Number 7 for me, I have Sierra, and I do think she is safe because she is the swing vote. But I could see again, I could see a scenario where she does get booted out just because they don't want to deal with that swing vote, which could be very very dangerous. And going into the merge with the blue collars, I mean they're gonna get Kelly back probably. I don't know. I don't think they can trust Sierra. I don't know if maybe Mike can reel her back in, but Dan and Rodney are gonna make that really really hard on him. All right, number 7 for Chris. He has Joe. Joe